What's up, fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new to my channel. I haven't been posting a lot because I've just been kind of, taking some time away for myself. And I tend to do that, but this time around I did a lot for like almost a year that it really kind of took breaks, a lot of breaks. I just needed it, honestly. Energetically and physically, I needed it. And that might be part of your reading, part of the message that is here for you. I'm going to do a general reading at first, and then at the very end, towards the end, a mini love reading, okay? So stay if you'd like, if you're interested. And it's not going to go too slow, okay? So don't worry, this is going to go right by fast. Okay, my Aries, Sagittarius, and Leos. What is it that is your reading for today? Besides the obvious that you probably need to rest, take some time to rest, and not to feel guilty about resting because it's obviously something that you need. Okay, it's better to be healthy than to be like exhausted and hurting yourself, potentially killing yourself, or slowly even. All right, my beautiful fire signs, what is it? Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Okay, let's keep going for my fire signs to really understand what is this about. Maybe this is about speaking your truth, okay? Or it might be that you're saying a little, the blue chakra, the throat chakra might be a little too activated. If I don't, it may not be that it's activated. It might just mean that it needs a little tweaking. It needs a little bit of clearing. There might be some clearing that you need to do on your throat chakra, meaning how you're speaking, when you're speaking, what you're speaking, practicing the 4 pauses. And that may be why I'm like getting a little bit tongue-tied with your reading. I was literally flowing with water and flowing with earth, and with you it's like I'm getting a little tongue-tied. And then we have pride. It says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So for some of you, this is about grounding yourself, maybe going to the park and going out somewhere so that you're able to finally see where it is that you might be speaking out of turn, or might be saying a little too much, if that makes sense. Or it might be where you need to be able to ground yourself in order for you to understand that everybody here is all going through shit. Everybody feels the stuff that the whole world is going through. Like, it's not just ourselves, okay? And that's important. It's important for us to realize love. That love is honestly the most powerful weapon, the most powerful choice that you can make, especially in a situation where you feel this way, and especially in a situation where your shadow and your pride, maybe even your ego, is out. Okay, it's like feeling hurt or feeling wounded, or maybe is that your ego and pride are very much prominent and dominant right now, and you're not even aware of it. Okay, it might be that part of you is not even aware of it, and that's why I'm saying you need to go ground. Like, literally take your shoes and your socks off and put your bare foot and your bare feet, okay, on the grass or on the soil. And I say that because there's literally studies that show that we are connected to the earth, and the earth recharges us. And for some of you, it might be that you're so tired that you're not even aware of how you are reacting towards others because of how tired you are. You're being reactive, you're frustrated. I'm hearing that it's more like a short fuse. You have a short fuse right now. Happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Okay, and I know this is more so about grounding into your heart space, grounding into the heart space, and knowing that the moment that you start speaking your truth in a manner that is able to be heard, meaning that maybe take away this energy of judgment and pride, as in like kind of like do that first, take a breather. First of all, be aware of how you're saying things, and then ground yourself enough for you to be aware that not everything that is said needs to be war or needs to be a battle. Not everything that you say needs to come off a certain way in order for it to be heard. Sometimes the best way for somebody to hear us is when we slow down, we ground ourselves first, come back into our bodies, back into ourselves, our spirits back to ourselves, take time to actually nurture and care about ourselves, and then speak about what it is and say exactly what it is that we need and what it is that we are feeling, because other people are not going to be able to guess. Okay, and I feel that's what this energy is about, is coming back into your heart space, and also adding that element of like water element of like flowing instead of like creating like a spark. And I know that it's really hard. It's way easier said than done for a fire sign, because it's part of our nature. It's part of our nature to be in that space where we are sparks of fire. We are fire. That is our element. And I say our because I am a fire sign. I am a Aries sun. Okay. But yes, like remembering that love is your greatest weapon, because love will ground you in the most uncomfortable situations. If there is in a very uncomfortable situation, coming back to that heart space, coming back to a place of flow instead of push and pull, will give you the opportunity to actually express what needs to express in order for you to feel like you're being heard. Because maybe there's a part of you that is hiding behind this judgment and this pride energy, and that's the shadows that we hide behind, because our hearts, our ego are hurt, or even our ego is part of what helps us, shields us, or like a wall is up, basically, if that makes sense, and shields our hearts, shields that part of us. And it could be that part of it is because you're frustrated about a love situation or love in general in your life, and it has something to do with other people, and it's more so about what it is that you're feeling within yourself, which obviously that's mostly for everyone. Like, you know, doesn't matter what your sign is. If there is an element of sometimes it's more so a personal energy and a personal problem than it is an outside problem. Obviously people do trigger us, and it's not to say that they don't, because that's part of the reason. But see, here we go. Failure. So for some of you, this has to do with the fact that you feel like you are failing at something. And the affirmation here is, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And this could be it. It's also part of it is giving me that you might feel like somebody has failed you, and in doing that, and in that regard, you are coming off as that energy of like that judgment energy and that pride energy, because you're hurt. That part of you that's hurt because of the situation or whatever the case, it's like, well, you know, you failed me, or feeling that inside yourself and not actually explaining what it is that made you feel that they did that failed you. Like, what failed you? Like, how did they failed you? Like, what is it that they owe you that ended up failing? Okay, so it all has a root cause, and what is that root cause? All right, so that is the questions to ask oneself in order for us to get to the bottom of certain energies, and us to get to the bottom of situation, for us to be able to liberate ourselves, because everything is always a mental slavery, like a mental chain. Okay, now let's do a mini love reading. For the end of this reading, mini love reading, what is it that fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius needs to know for their love life? Loves you so much. It might be this person that you're dealing with. They want to talk but are scared to make a move. That may be part of the reason why you are feeling the way you are. If somebody is ignoring you, or like choosing not to talk to you because they're scared, that is their choice. Okay, at the end of the day, you have a responsibility for your reactions and the way that you respond to somebody's actions, or because it's outside of your control. Someone else you cannot control. You cannot tell somebody what to do. I mean, you could tell somebody what to do, but at the end of the day, that's not going to be coming from somewhere genuine, or that person is really not going to be doing what they want to do, and that's not genuine. And do you really want someone to do something that you are telling them to do? You're basically, you may not make them do it, but if you are swaying them and you're kind of like, you know, putting them in a space of like, well, you need to do this, of course they're gonna do it to make you happy or to kind of take you off their backs. But at the end of the day, does that make it genuine love? No, of course not. So it's like asking yourself, where is it that your limits are as well with yourself, as you would ask another person to be limited with where they behaved towards you? Okay, so in that same manner, where are your limits to yourself with the way that you are with others? Okay, and that's important. And then putting, you are a bad bitch, don't you forget. So this could also be part of that, why that pride card is there. It could be that you're hurt. It could be that you're hurt because of this love situation, especially if somebody is ignoring you, choosing you to ignore you, choosing to ghost you, choosing not to like communicate with you, or you feel they have failed you, whatever the case. In whichever way you feel hurt by another person, there's a part of you that is more so hurt because internally you have lost a part of your sense of self. You have lost a part of what you feel of your self-worth. Like maybe for some of you, this has triggered a lot of your insecurities. This has triggered a lot of parts of you that you would rather not have to face. For some of you, you have worked so hard on your security, on your self-esteem, that it comes down to the point that if somebody hurts your self-esteem, they're hurting your pride, they're hurting your ego. So there's a part of you that's like very much watchful with a watchful eye. Like, that makes sense. Like look at you, like, man, you know. And it's not to say we don't have the right to feel this way. If anything, you have the absolute right to feel this way. But it's also important to be aware of where we are expending this shadow, where we are expending this energy on others, because others may not necessarily deserve it, if that makes sense. So like, you know how they say that sometimes we treat the people that we love the most the worst because they love us, and so they accept our shadows, or there's part of us that wants to test people and their limits on us, is like, and sort of prove ourselves, right? Oh, I'm this bad, I'm this dark, I'm this bad, that I'm going to push this person to hate me so much, so to prove my point that I am hateful, that I am not worthy of love. We're getting very deep here, but it's because it's true. Sometimes that, and it was 12 to 34, 1 2 3 4 in the clock, so I already know that is a message that was profound for somebody on here. And it's definitely something that we tend to do at a subconscious level because we're hurt, because our inner part of us that loves, that cares tremendously, is pained and is sad. Okay, and then we put, as fire signs, sometimes we put this wall over it with fire, you know, fire, don't get close to this. Fire, do not get close, I don't want you near me, sort of thing. But in reality, behind that mask, behind all of that wall, it is a very hurt part of us, and that needs tending, and that needs some love and care and nurturing. So it might be that you need to be aware of how you are also responding to your own shadows, and how you're responding to the way that you're behaving. If you're being hard on yourself, if you're being harsh on how you are coming off, then of course you're going to end up being more harsher on that which is outside of you, and others that just happen to be in the way of your fire breathing wall. You know, protecting you from harm, because you are very hurt right now, and you are very sad because of whatever situation. Okay, yeah, somebody may have lied to you, or there might be dishonesty that you're dealing with. Okay, and it could just be more so denial and ego, obviously, that the pride goes hand in hand with it, crying. I'm so sorry, baby, if there is a part of you that needs to cry. I want you to know you have permission to cry. You have permission to feel your feelings and to feel shitty and to feel all those feelings. Just be aware who you are, you know, expanding that energy with, especially like if you have children or you have somebody around you like a sister or brother or somebody that doesn't deserve it because it wasn't them that, you know, caused this pain, or it wasn't because of them that it caused it. And so like it's more so like giving yourself the space to nurture yourself, like putting up boundaries instead of walls. And those boundaries could be like, hey, right now I don't have a space for you, and I really need to tend to myself because I need me, and I need me more than you guys need me right now. And I'm sorry that I can't be there for you guys, and I'm sorry that I can't show up. I'm sorry that I can't go here. I'm sorry that I cannot do this, or asking for help, or actually being like, I need somebody right now. I need you to be compassionate with me. I need you to be gentle with me. I need you to show up for me the way that I have shown up for you, and like expressing that in a manner that will be more like receptive, like somebody will be receptive of. Okay, all right, my beautiful, let's do some comedic relief card. This is you, my beautiful fire signs. Okay, just sit back and chill, bro. Like it's really something that will pass you by in time. And you know what, feel your feelings. Sit back and feel your feelings. That's what this is. All right, my beautiful fire signs, I love you. You are interested in a reading and you like my style of reading, feel free to hit me up in a DM on my Instagram, which is Ojitos. Wait, that's not it. That's my old one. That's actually my TikTok. Hit me up on Instagram, which is Esther X Carrera. I'll link it below, but or like, you know, I'll put it below. But yeah, hit me up on my DM. And yeah, follow me if you would like. I'll accept a request. I am private right now for privacy reasons, but yeah, I should be able to accept your request. Yeah, and other than that, thank you for coming through, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, gangsters.